works. But this story, Joe pulled this from this weekend. Says, amid the mass of aid agencies piling in to help Haiti quake victims is a batch of Church of Scientology volunteer ministers claiming to use the power of touch to reconnect nervous systems. Clad in yellow T-shirts emblazoned with the logo of the controversial U.S.-based group, smiling volunteers fan out among the injured lying under makeshift shelters in the courtyard of Port-au-Prince's General Hospital. A wealthy private donor provided his airplane to fly in 80 volunteers from Los Angeles, along with 50 Haitian-American doctors in a gesture worth $400,000. Now, they're bringing those doctors.
How many doctors?
50. So that's great. The other part says, we're trained as volunteer ministers. We use a process called assist to follow the nervous system to reconnect the main points to bring back communication. When you get a sudden shock to a part of your body, the energy gets stuck. So we reestablish communication within the body by touching people through their clothes and asking people to feel the touch.
Well, okay. Well, perhaps you are doing miracles and reconnecting nervous systems. So does that mean, like, if you're paralyzed, they can fix it? Is that what I'm being led to believe?
I don't know.
I don't know
if you're that. I mean,
like John Locke or what?
See, I can't help but be a little skeptical because it uses the word energy. Anytime I hear someone discussing energy flow and getting the energy go from positive to negative, my brain automatically starts to think, ugh, this is crap.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't sound that different from what acupressure would be. But if they described it as, they're, experts at acupressure, well, it wouldn't seem as weird, but it does because they're Scientologists.
Here's an example. It says, next to her lay a 22-year-old student, Oscar L. Wheels, whose father rescued him from the basement of his school where he lay with a pillar on his leg for a day after the January 12th quake. His right leg was amputated below the knee and left leg was severely bruised and swollen. More than half of his fellow students died in the rubble, although the rest of his family was unscathed. This woman, the Scientologist says, 1 hour ago he had no sensation in his left leg. So I explained the method to him. I touched him, and after a while he said, now I feel everything. Otherwise, they may have had to amputate his other leg. Now his sister knows the method, and she can go and do it. Maybe it's possible. You're right. It's not so different. What they're describing is not so different than, Eastern medicine.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't say how hard they're touching or whatever, but yeah, it sounds like the concept behind acupressure and acupuncture.
Maybe.
Which is releasing and reconnecting, and it's a little far-fetched.
Of course, a regular doctor finds this to be insulting, and it says that he, quote, snorted, I didn't know touching could heal gangrene.
Yeah, that's the part of it.
You don't really
seems
believe
a
that,
little bit weird. Like, I can see where a nerve might be pinched somewhere, and where the idea of acupuncture or something can fix those little nerve endings or whatever. My uncle went through that with a bad knee. But he didn't have gangrene. He just had numbness in his knee.
Come on now.
Right.
It wasn't, if you're
something
crazy. That's
something tells me if you're performing miracles like that where dead flesh is being brought back to life, there'd be a little bit of coverage on that.
Yeah.
And then Scientology would be looked at quite fondly, and everybody would be a Scientologist if that were the case. But it's not. You're all a bunch of brainwashed lunatics. Shut the hell up and go back to your spaceship.
It would certainly. That's the hard part. Is when you hear Scientology, you immediately think, ooh, exploding thetans and spaceships from wherever and volcanoes.
You can't get a straight answer out of any of these bozos anyway.
It becomes a little hard to take any part of what they do serious, but there may be something to this.
Well, maybe, but
no, there's not.
The thing is,
there's no nothing to it.
The reason that they get so much crap is because they keep it so secretive. I mean, you know what Catholics are about. You know what Christians are about. You know why? Because you can pick up the book we look at.
Right.
It's pretty easy.
Right.
You can figure out, there are people who interpret Islam slightly different, but you get the basic gist because you can read the Quran if you want.
Right.
A
little more difficult with Scientology.
Scientology, you can't figure out what's going on until you buy your way into the top.
Yeah, it's silly, stupid.
That's why they get a bad rap, and probably justifiably so.